Consider me succumb to the darkness. Nosferatu is the latest from writer, director, and horror historian Robert Eggers, and it is probably one of the most beautifully haunting horror films I've ever seen. If Robert Eggers were a painter, his palette would consist of gray, flames, and dread. I've never seen a movie with such dark, shadowy scenes look this good. And it's scary. Hi, my name is Emily, or La Movie Mija. I'm a part-time filmmaker, full-time movie lover, and this is my review of Nosferatu. Let's get into it. Nosferatu is a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and the terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. The film is directed by Robert Eggers and it stars Lily Rose-Depp, Bill Skarsgård, Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Emma Corrin, and Willem Dafoe. I don't even know where to begin with this movie because it's that good. Nosferatu is a reimagining of the 1922 F.W. Murnau and 1979 Werner Herzog films of the same name, which were also reinterpretations, unapproved copies, of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Recognize when I say reimagination, I don't mean modernization because that's just not Robert Eggers' style. If you're unfamiliar with his work, he's more of a historian who's dedicated to capturing the essence of what people were concerned about during the times in which his films are set, and in this case, it's what people would have thought was scary, and simply giving us, the modern audience, the opportunity to experience that terror rather faithfully. The film is masterfully crafted, and the synergy that Eggers has with some of his longtime collaborators, both in front and behind the camera, is just very palpable. There's people that he's been working with since his feature debut, The Witch. Everything in this film comes together like a gothic symphony with a singular vision to scare the out of you. The cinematography is gorgeous. The nighttime scenes in particular are a remarkable feat. They are so dark, yet they are still so rich in detail. Like if you've ever been somebody who's said, why is everything so dark? I can't see anything. I can't see like what's happening on screen. This movie will probably blow your mind. The film is a visual feast, and it combining Eggers' like invigorating direction with the cinematography of Jaron Blaschke, another collaborator that he has worked on many projects with. Together they create a mesmerizing, dreamlike experience. Everything in this film comes together in a way that makes it become really immersive, and there's just so many incredible details and a remarkable mise-en-scene. The costume and the production design are so inviting that at times I forgot to be scared. All of it looks incredible, but again, those nighttime scenes, whew! They are really something to behold because they skew almost entirely monochrome gray like a black and white film, almost mimicking or probably paying homage to the fact that color tinting was a method that was used in silent era films to convey different emotions or different themes for different segments of a film, as was the case in the original 1922 Nosferatu film. And that's all in contrast to the romantic production design, creating a very sexy tension between the world the characters live in and the way that the story is being presented to us. It's all very expressionistic. Before we continue, I just want to say welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching my video. By the time this video goes up, it will be my birthday. Yay! Oh, and would you look at that? My gift registry. How embarrassing. Well, now that it's here, you can see I've only registered for a few things, and unless you can get me a ticket to a Sky Riley concert or one night in Count Orlok's castle, possibly consider gifting me with a like or maybe even a subscribe to this channel. If you do, I post a new movie review here every single week, and if you want even more movie news, reviews, and personal insights from me, you can follow me on TikTok, if it hangs in there, and Instagram at Movie Mija. Now back to the film. The use of shadow in this movie cannot be overlooked. Like, not only is it a very strong presence visually throughout the film, with so many shadows encompassing the shots, but it also does a very good job of creating this like kinetic sensation of like that shrouded darkness that you're in while watching it in the theater, which I thought was a really cool use of immersion. It also acts as an extension of the terror that Count Orlok has over all of the people, and by extension, the audience itself. And I love how simply it ties together the themes of sexual repression, grief, faith, and fear of the other. That brings me to the man himself, Count Orlok. Sickening. Count Orlok is lust and death incarnate. He is shrouded in shadows for most of the film, with his echoing, demonic voice being the most we experience from the character up until a certain point. And Skarsgård may be typecast as a horror icon, but he does this so well. His transformation into Count Orlok is completely mesmerizing. I was blown away by what he was able to do with such little like visual screen time, and the eventual reveal of his character made me recoil, and I can only hope that you too get to have the pleasure of witnessing that on the big screen. That reminds me, if you need a format recommendation for this movie going to watch in the theater, I would highly recommend seeing it in Dolby. The picture quality of Dolby is really going to elevate your experience getting to see those shadows for yourself. I actually got to attend an advanced screening of this film at the Dolby offices in Burbank, California, and that viewing experience was divine. Now, the rest of the cast absolutely delivers in the film as well, but I have to shout out Lily Rose Depp. She ascended beyond the realm of this world, and she is just so good in this movie. She is a doting wife, wishing for her husband's safe return, as well as a woman under a demonic spell that is, well, putting her heart at odds with her more carnal desires. Being a person possessed in any movie is a very demanding role. Like, I'm still hoping for Naomi Scott to get some recognition this awards season, okay? Smile 2 was incredible. But Depp in this movie, she's like contorting her body. She's enduring these long takes during which she is experiencing complete emotional breakdowns. And we are just getting to sit with her in that emotion. And it's just such a testament to what she is able to do, the writing of this film, and Robert Eggers' direction. She really sells the horror of being the object of an evil entity's desire. Not that I ever wanted to know what that was like. As mesmerizing as this film is visually, and yes, I know I probably said that word quite a few times by now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the sound design as well. There were a few moments that rattled me, like physically, the bass within the speakers at the Dolby screening like had me shaking in my chair. I was like, did we go into 4D for a moment? Add to that sound design the ever-lurking score, and it helps to maintain this ongoing air of dread that just permeates the entire film. Now, submitting yourself to experience just like an hour and 20 minutes of dread sounds like it would be exhausting or cause the film to overstay its welcome, but there is some incredible editing at play. I don't think the film like overstays its welcome at all. I feel like it is very well paced. It does a good job of effectively communicating that emotional through line. I was really surprised that I was able to sit in that air of dread for so long and feel like I was having a fully rounded out experience with this movie, truly making it a through and through horror masterpiece. I'm really curious what audiences are going to think of this movie if they're going to turn out to see it on Christmas Day. I mean, tiny spoiler alert, but there is a Christmas tree in this movie, so yes, it's a festive holiday film. But overall, I found the film to be completely immersive. Like those shadows extending from the screen into the shadows of the theater was just such a cool experience, sending you to a time of darkest depths of vampires and plagues with a singular goal, filling you with absolute dread. As a fan of vampires, I really enjoyed it. As a fan of gothic horror films, I really enjoyed it. And as a fan of like visually stunning like masterpieces from directors who have been able to maintain that level of craftsmanship throughout taking different levels of budgets in their projects, like The Witch was about just a few $1 million, and I can imagine this is well beyond that scope of budget. Knowing that he can still maintain that sensibility in his filmmaking just makes me really excited for how audiences are going to experience this movie and like what more is to come from Robert Eggers. Nosferatu is dedicated to testing your appetite for the macabre, and personally, I drank it all up. Again, the film is only on theaters on Christmas Day. Let me know if you're going to be checking it out. I don't know about you, but my family celebrates on Christmas Eve, so Christmas Day is for going to the movies. So it's going to be me and the older cousins checking this one out. Very festive and fun. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you next time. Bye!